Hi, my Tubies and my Teletubbies. I am so happy. I finished my laundry today. I can't believe it. I cleaned everything in the house, every freaking thing in the house. And while I was waiting for my laundry, processing the laundry, waiting in the dryer, and all the above, I was going through, some videos looking at narcissism and all the above. Anything I can find to help my tubies and my Teletubbies. I'm always on the lookout for new information because sometimes you find someone who can express things a little bit better than you can. And I ran into this guy, and I recommend that you go on his channel and please subscribe to his channel. You will not be sorry. His channel is CNXG, Crazy Narcissist Ex Girlfriend. Please, because the way he explains when you discard the narcissist, he's going to explain to you what happens when you discard the narcissist. Discarding the narc will eat them alive constantly. It's the best thing to do. Listen in. Hold on, let me hook this up. This is going to be so good for you.
Battery is full.
And it makes me so happy
Ready to pair.
that I made the decisions that I made.
Charging.
Because keep in mind, I
Paired.
discarded my Nard. I kept throwing him out. Constantly throwing him out. He kept coming back. And the only reason why I took him back, like I said, he had disabilities. And I felt sorry for him constantly. But it got to a point where I don't even care anymore. I got to the point that when I did the final discard and threw his behind out of here, I didn't even bother looking back. Not at all. Even when he called. Remember the time I told you he called me up to say, oh, I'm in the neighborhood. I was hoping I could stop. Baby, please. Listen to why. They gotta have wisdom. I'm nobody's fool. Listen in.
What happens when you discard the
Maximum volume.
Hold up.
the narcissist discarding you? We all kind of want to know that, huh? Or
Hold on,
what
guys.
does it look
Bear with me. This is so good.
like? What does it feel like? Why? So,
Hold on. Here it goes.
let me first start by telling you kind of just briefly what a narcissist is, for those of you who don't know. And then this will kind of just help
Hold on,
you.
guys.
Because what
Hold
we're
on.
doing...
I just want to share this with you because you're going to love me for this. You're going to say, oh, Auntie Sheila True Love, thank you for introducing us to him. Now we have somewhere else we can go to educate ourselves even further. Don't forget, his name is CNXG, Crazy Narcissist Ex Girlfriend. This is so good. Yes.
Maximum volume.
Hello everybody, my name is David. Thank you for watching Crazy Narcissist Ex-Girlfriend. Today's video, what happens when you discard the narcissist instead of the narcissist discarding you? We all kind of want to know that, huh?
Do you know how good I feel that I'm the one who discarded him? And he's the one who kept calling me and kept calling me and kept trying to reach out to me. And, God, I've done my research on narcissism and I'm pretty good. I'm pretty educated in terms of narcissism. But like I said, it's so great when you learn new things, even yourself.
Or what does it look like? What does it feel like? Why? So, let me first start by telling you kind of just briefly what a narcissist is, for those of you who don't know. And then this will kind of just help you, because what we're doing is trying to understand how they think and why, right?
Yes.
So a narcissist is somebody who has narcissistic personality disorder. Without going all over the criteria, basically is what happened is they come from abuse, right? So there's some kind of abuse, neglect, abandonment, physical abuse, whatever it is. Usually lots of abandonment, neglect. Then there's overcompensation for it. So one of the caretakers or the caretaker makes up for this and kind of gives them too much, feeds their ego too much. So it could be, your father left us. He was abusive when he was here. So the mother makes up for it by saying, you're amazing, you're so great, for like almost nothing, just being them. So, or maybe, anything that happens with it, one parent overcompensates for the other, or...
And this explains my ex-narc perfectly because he had a mother who was an alcoholic, and I'm sure there was times he said she had a mouth on her baby that was deadly, and I'm sure there was many times that she tore him down and said many things about him. And then when she was sober, she came back and fed his ego, blowing smoke up his behind, talking about how great you are. And then he had his dad, who was constantly blowing smoke up his behind, uh, feeding his ego and this and that, and this is all making sense to me. I am so grateful to my Heavenly Father that I ran into this guy C in XG. Oh.
Maybe you have an alcoholic or drug addict parent. They're the sole caretaker, and then they're abusive sometimes, and then when they're sober, you're so great, and they spoil the hell out of them. Okay? And what happens is there's abuse. They never develop empathy or remorse, but there's somebody sitting there building up this false ego for no reason, just telling them you're so great, and that kind of it makes this false ego, and it also feeds their entitlement, that false sense of entitlement. I deserve this just because I'm me, because someone told me I'm so great, so I'm so...
Yeah, like he has disabilities or something like that. He said when he was a baby, he fell or whatever. It caused him to have TBI, traumatic brain injury, and he has cerebral palsy. And he said how many surgeries he had to go through because his legs was all messed up, and his mom spent a fortune in terms of constantly taking him to the hospital to get these surgeries. So he was constantly getting attention. So all of this is starting to make so much sense. Why he's such a attention addict. And all of this stuff where people are sitting up there trying to make him feel better, even though half the things those people were saying wasn't even true. But I understand, he had disabilities. You're going to try to build the kid up. You know what I mean? I understand that. But he turned out to be a monster. I'm telling you, a monster.
Great, I'm a narcissist. So what happens is we all have shame. How they deal with shame, instead of, they feel like they're not worthy like us, but they put themselves over the top and say, I'm better than you. So they have to compete, and they have to be better at everything, and they have to win. They have to be in control. So things they do have to support this huge false ego they have.
But I'm just sitting here thinking in terms of what he's saying. There's no way my ex-narc could feel like he could compete. That's why he couldn't stand my son. He couldn't compete and win. That's why he goes and deal with people in the gutter. Because that's where he feels he can compete. That's where he can shine. Because when it came to stepping up to my son, to my brother, to the people in my congregation, he constantly always felt inadequate. And I noticed how he used to constantly always be so angry. And you sit up here and you hate my family members, especially the men, Lassetti, and all the men in my family. He couldn't stand them. That's where his narcissistic rage came from. Because he wanted to compete in the real world. He can't compete in the real world. He has to go back to drugs. Because drugs, that's where the gutter people are at. The hood rats. So he's got all these bums that he feels like, I don't understand all that. How do you feel successful and you're a winner when you're with nothing but things from the gutter? You're with people who are junkies and drug addicts and chronic, huge alcoholics. How can you actually feel like a winner when you can't even compete in the real world? So how could he ever feel grandiose or feel like he's better than someone? That is something I will never understand. But I think it's because they're very, very delusional. That's probably why he has to stay strung out on crack. He has to stay in that world. He has to. I remember constantly asking him, why is it that you say you want to live a Christian lifestyle, but you can't seem to leave these satanic people alone? He couldn't seem to leave these people alone. Constantly sneaking over here to these ratty barbershops and these disgusting neighborhoods, because that's where he felt he could be somebody. That's where he felt he could shine. In the drug world. It's just like, whatever.
So when they enter relationships, they don't have, remorse or empathy, so they're very abusive. They're very malignant. They're very sadistic. They like to see you hurt and in pain. but it's not the pain that somebody else caused. It's not just I want you to do bad. I want you to do bad because I made you do that. I created this.
I could totally identify with this. Can you? I remember the times, like sometimes I hardly ever cried around him anyway. I hardly ever. I think I could count out of 11 years. I may have cried around him, what, 3 times out of 11 years? And anytime I was crying or I was upset, he was so cold, don't cry or don't cry. It was just cold. No empathy whatsoever, no compassion, nothing loving about the character. This is all making sense to me. They love to see people in pain, just like the way he treated my brother. My brother who had an accident, he had to go into rehabilitation to get his left side fixed up again. So we had purchased this huge television. He put half in it, my ex-husband put half in, and I put half in. And my brother was very respectful. He would talk to my ex-narc and say, what time do you want the TV off? And instead of asking me, I'm his sister, but no, he went to the man of the house. Because I had to go and get my brother from the city because my brother was homeless and I didn't know that. So before I brought my brother home, of course I had to ask my husband if it was okay. He said sure, because if that was my family, he made it clear it was okay. But anyway, when I brought my brother over here, and my brother, let me tell you, his fist is a hammer. He would never step to my brother physically, trust and believe. But anyway, and my brother's built. He's got an amazing body. So he would treat my brother badly when it came to television. He would constantly complain about this. He would constantly complain about every single thing about my brother. He complained about every single thing about my son. He constantly complained about my son-in-law. He was so jealous and envious because he kept trying to compete and he couldn't compete. Please. The men in my family didn't even have to try with this. My family wasn't even thinking about this competing nonsense, but everything with him was about trying to compete. And I'm like, really? Well, honey, the man didn't stand a chance. He's where he belongs. He's right where he belongs. Back on crack, back in the gutter with prostitutes, thoughts, street whores. He's right at home. That's where he belongs.
I am in control. I am making you feel bad because I am omnipotent. I am godlike. I am so good. I am better than humans.
I know my narc couldn't think like that. There's no way. You got 2 disabilities, mental and physical. You got TBI. You have half of your body that's not even almost functional. How the hell do you ever feel like you're omnipotent or you're better than... Really? No, there's no way he could possibly. I think maybe that's why he have to go on crack, because that helps his delusions. There ain't nowhere in the world he could honestly feel that he could compete with people who are physically and mentally healthy. Really? Ain't nowhere in the world. There's not that much delusion in the universe.
Anything that you think you're better at me than that, I'm going to try to destroy you for that. So they like people, they want to feel superior in some way. They want to up their class, their status, if you will. So
now, like I said, this is making sense. He wanted to feel superior in some way, but he was competing with a family who everyone is highly educated. Everyone have got their stuff together. Everyone is, high functioning. Did he really? But you got to give the man. Look, he tried. He tried. There's no way, and that's why he used to get so angry all the time. Because when he wanted to feel superior, none of us was even trying to do anything to feel big time. We was just being our natural selves. And in the process of being our natural selves, he hated our intelligence. He hated our abilities. He hated us for our potential. And trust me, he was always walking around here trying to start fights, constantly getting angry over things there was nothing to get upset about. Now, listening to this guy, now I understand why. I understand why. Because he constantly felt inadequate. So he had to keep going back to those same places where he felt he could shine. But I mean, how can you feel like a winner? I still say, because let me tell you about me. If I'm hanging out with people who are nothing but junkies and alcoholics and drug addicts and in the gutter and hood rats, that's not going to make me feel like a winner. I feel like a winner when I'm hanging out with the elite, when I'm hanging out with the Ivy Leaguers, when I'm hanging out with the people who are polished, and I can hang with them and I can compete. And sometimes I actually come out ahead of the game. Now I feel like a winner. I could never feel like a winner hanging out with a bunch of gutter, ghetto hood rats. Really?
They will, latch on to somebody or date somebody they think will increase their status. They like these good things and good qualities about you, but it's also the same things they'll destroy you for. They want you destroyed. They want to be better than you. Every interaction they have with people I have to be better than you. I have to win. I have to have the last word. All these things. So typically, a narcissist discards the person they're with, and why? It's different than like a borderline. Okay, and just to let you know, I'm doing the next video I do is going to be about borderlines discarding you, and what that's like. But I'll get to that in the next video. But basic.
So you see what he says here is that the narcissist, they feel that they have to discard you so they can feel better. Or what my narcissist, he must feel awful. He must feel suicidal because I was the one constantly discarding him. And every time I brought him back, he probably wanted to try to get even, but he could never win. Personally, me, I'd say win what? But that's the way their mind works. Competitively like that. I'm not in no competition. You're supposed to be my husband. We're on the same team. What's up with that? But every time I brought him back and he tried to do something to, get a reaction out of me and I didn't respond the way he wanted, I was calm, cool, and collective. That freaked him out. Or anytime he tried to do something to mess with my brother, my son, my family, or disrupt, they try to, this is what abusers do. They try to isolate you. They want to try to get you away from your friends, get you away from your family, so you don't have any type of support. And he kept trying to do that, but he never succeeded. Now I see why he was always so mean looking and always so angry. And why he tried to do things that tried to make me feel bad. He was cheap. He was stingy. He did everything to try to tear me down. And every time he tried to tear me down, I just had other people in my life that kept building me right back up, stronger than what I was. I didn't even need the outside people. But the more he kept trying to tear me down, the stronger I became, so the more enraged he became. Some weird nonsense, man, really.
They put you on a value system. Okay, what does this person have for me? What can this person do for me? They value you. You are good for me for this, 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 and this, and you're awesome at it. And for a while, you really give them enough attention, and you're enough, and you're great for them, and they love it. But after a while, that attention you give them goes down. After a while, the things they like, they kind of just they begin to devalue you, don't they? They don't think that.
Yeah, the very things that he liked about me, my intelligence, my confidence, my set goals and achieve it, the way people respond to me, all those things that when he met me, he loved it. He was like, oh my God, I hit the jackpot. And then those are the very things that he grew to hate me for. My potential. He grew to hate me because I was articulate. And that's one thing that he's not. He's not articulate at all. Trying to have an intelligent conversation with him was really hard, not just for me, but for everyone who he, encountered. He had issues. I mean, really. But like he's saying, the very things that they like about you and idolize you for, those are the exact same things they end up hating you for.
The things that were so great about you aren't so great anymore. They tell you aren't so great anymore. So what they want to do is when they finally devalue you and you're worth nothing to them,
that's the thing about it. He wants to sit up there and try to tell you you're not worth much, or they want to try to devalue you. He could never devalue me. I told you my moon is in Leo, sweetheart. I'm the king and the queen of the jungle. His moon is in Aries. That's a ram. A lion will always eat a goddamn ram. Did he honestly believe that he could compete with me? That was really a goddamn sheep ram think he could step up to a freaking lion. Interesting.
throw you away like a piece of garbage, just like a piece of trash, done with you, and walk off. And they're done. And they like to look back. They like to see you miserable. They like to see you in pain. They like to see that you failed, that you are nothing. And if they can, they'll come back and do it some more.
This is exactly what I experienced when he was telling me about a car incident. I didn't call this man. I did no contact, but he calls me from different phone numbers. So he calls me up and say, I crashed up the other car, but I got $5,000. I want you to pick out the car with me. You're going to be the first one in the car with me. He was trying to, you know, set me up to try to hurt me because he was supposed to have showed up at a certain time. He never showed up. He thought I was going to be sitting there waiting. I didn't wait. I didn't damn don't wait. First of all, you're a crackhead. I know how crackheads operate. But the reason why he did what he did, because he was trying to hurt me. And I already told him, like months, way months ahead, you can't hurt someone who has already moved on. And I had already moved on. He thought I was going to be sitting there waiting for him. I didn't, when 5 o'clock came, I was ghost. I was like that anyway, even when I was married with him. When he said he's going to show up at a certain time, if he didn't show up while he was my husband, 5 o'clock, I get off. If you ain't here at 5 o'clock, I'm ghost. I'm not going to sit here and wait for you. If he wanted me to wait, he would have to tell me, can you still, don't go nowhere. Don't go nowhere, just wait for me. I said, you know what? You got 15 minutes, son. And if you're not here within that 15-minute time span, I'm done. You know how I operate, really.
So, what happens when you discard the narcissist is it's a massive injury. It's a massive blow to their ego. Because remember, they're so great. But if you don't want them anymore and you break up with them and discard them, however you do it, means that they're worth nothing. They are.
Oh my God, that's how he ended up back on crack. Because like I said, he had like 8-9 years clean time. But when I discarded him, not that my intention was for him to fall back onto drugs, but he must have felt like he was nothing. He was defeated. So he just went back on crack, went back to smoking cigarettes, back with the prostitutes, the thoughts, picking up women who got lice all in their hair, crabs all in their vagina, all these dirty, nasty hoes. He definitely felt defeated. Not that that was my intention. My intention was we're on a break, a timeout, so you could take the time out to check yourself. You see what I'm saying? I wanted him to see what your life would be like without me in it. But instead of him, falling into the right whatever, going into counseling, doing better, trying to be a better Christian, trying to be a better husband, hang out with people who's going to help make you a better man. No, he chose to hang out with the lowlifes. And what did the lowlifes do? Pulled him right back into the crack game. And it was easy for him to fall back into that because he felt defeated.
They're omnipotent. They're down here. You don't even want them anymore. Pfft, done. Done with you. So that big, huge ego is knocked down. There's nothing supporting it. That ego is what covers their shame. That drops them right back into that childhood shame. That feelings that they're just a worthless piece of crap. Okay? So that is a narcissistic injury. And it's a life or death.
I never ever wanted him to feel like he was a worthless piece of crap. Because, like I told you, when I met him, he had nothing. He had no car, he had no money, he had nothing. But if I felt he was a worthless piece of crap, I wouldn't have taken a chance on him. I saw him as a man who has potential. This is a man who has, he's got ambition. I knew that. Was I wrong? Nope. I knew this is a man who's going to have things. He's going to have something. All he needed was a good woman to stand behind him, be the biggest cheerleader he could ever have, and that's what I did. I was just motivated him, inspired him. I was his biggest cheerleader. And because of that, everything, he came in to me with nothing. When I had to discard him, he had everything. At least he was set. when I discarded him. But then, without me, the biggest cheerleader, he lost everything again. Lost everything. His credit is a mess.
Situation to them. So a lot of times they might react into narcissistic rage, just huge, angry. I will not be that shameful little child that I know I am. No, I'm this. I'm so great. But what you didn't support that. It knocked it all down. So typically, they want revenge. Okay? Yep. And they might trick you and do whatever they can. They might wait a little bit. They'll try to come back to you.
That's exactly what he did. This man is so on point. He waited some months past or whatever, and then I got that phone call. Hey, hi, I'm in the neighborhood right now. I was wondering, I wanted to stop by. It went right into my voicemail. Actually, that call was not supposed to have come through anyway because I had him blocked. From texting me, from my phones, pretty much. He don't do social networking, thank God. He doesn't have the brains for it. But anyway, thank God. But he called me from another number. And it went into my voicemail because I don't pick up numbers that I don't recognize. So when I checked the voicemail, it was him. And when I heard the message, I didn't return the call. I didn't do nothing except for now I see this new number that he has. So I blocked that one too. How about that?
Right, you don't, please let me back in. I realize you're so great. You were the greatest thing in my life. You're the one that got away. You were so special to me. We've been through all kinds of stuff together. And they get you to take him back.
And of course, they say all of those things. And when he's saying that to me, if he were to, and God knows he would, you know what? I'm not going to argue with him on it. You damn right I'm the best thing you ever had, son. You are never, ever, ever, in this lifetime, maybe in the next or 2 or 3 lifetimes, but never in this lifetime, find a woman that's a Proverbs 31 type of wife, not for a clown like him. He'll never have a woman like me again, ever.
And they discard you. Okay? They discard you. They win. Now they're better. Now they're back up top. They're above you now. Okay? Now, typically what they'll do, if they aren't seeking revenge right away, they'll, maybe seclude themselves. They're injured, man. They try and pick themselves up. Typically, they will abuse somebody else, take it out on them, make themselves feel better.
And I believe that is so true because what is this female? He's supposedly Robin and Debbie does Dallas, if you want my view. But yeah, I'm sure these females are feeling it, especially the Ebony female. But that's what she gets because her man is in jail. While her man is in jail, she's sitting up here popping on pornos and sucking off other niggas and all this other nonsense. You know what I'm saying? So she's getting what she deserves. She's getting exactly what she deserves. And the other female, she's nothing but a straight up junkie who got what kind of cysts and pus sores all on her and all this other crazy nonsense. And I'm sure he's making their life a living hell.
As a narcissistic parent who is single their whole life and they're out dating and stuff, you'll see they go through with boyfriends or girlfriends, right? And it doesn't bother them. They're just one on the next. But then that one that breaks up with them, oh man, they're injured. And what do? They take it out on you, don't they? Yeah, narcissists, when they have injuries, they take it out on the people around them. They have to build that false ego up again, that you're so great, you're so great. So, if you discard a narcissist, you better stay away from them and not believe them. Don't believe anything.
Did you hear what he said? If you discarded a narcissist, stay away from them because if they try to come back into your life, it's only so they could try to destroy you. They want to sit up there and have you all caught up on them and try to get you back, get you to let your guard down, gain your trust again. Why are they doing this? Because they love you and they missed you? Hell no. Because they want to be the one to discard you. They want to try to hurt you. Even if I was in that situation and he discarded me, who cares? Who gives a rat's rear end? Because I'm not losing nothing. He's the one who's losing. He's the one who got all these crazy disabilities. He's the one who's a junkie. He's the one who, if he ain't spending money and being everybody's chauffeur, the town simp, if you will. That's what they've made of him out here. Because I hear people talking, and I hear it. You know, they're taking this clown to the bank. He's nothing but everybody's chauffeur. And that's pretty much it. So even if he were to discard me, not that he will, because like I said, I don't go backwards in life. I don't go backwards. You had a good thing, you blew it. I did everything in my power to try to work with this marriage. He did not care enough. Okay? So now I said, that's it, I'm done. You buddy, here's your walking paper, sweetheart. He thought I wasn't going to get that divorce. That was a shocker for him. Because his landlady told me when he got those divorce papers, this man broke down in tears. He lost all control. You know why? Because that's one thing about narcissists also. They underestimate people. They keep thinking that they're smarter than everyone. They can outthink everyone and outsmart. He didn't have a clue. He kept thinking that, oh, she's just threatening it. She's never going to follow through. But baby, when I served those divorce papers, he lost it. Talk about narcissistic injury. That man was suicidal.
Thing they do or say, nothing. If you break up with somebody, it is over and you don't take them back, especially if they abused you.
Thank you.
Okay, when somebody abuses you in a relationship, it's tainted, it's over.
Thank you.
I don't care about what they say, they changed or whatever. Good. You go change with somebody else because they've already devalued you.
Thank you.
Understand?
Yep.
You've meant nothing to them.
That's right.
So how are they going to be, how are they going to be good now if they don't value you at all? Why would they start valuing you again? For no reason? Doesn't work. So it's over. So
that's right. The only reason why they're going to try to get you back and try to pretend that they value you is so that they could try to destroy you. That's what that's what narcissists do. You know, it's a mental disorder. Some abuse or something happened to them in their childhood, and they never knew how to get past it, and it changed the chemistry in their brain, and now it's a mental disorder, and there's no coming back from that. There's no coming back from it.
Good. Typically I say, instead of, sometimes it can be really good to be discarded, and then they go away, they're out of your life, they're with somebody else, and you get to kind of, start figuring out what's going on and what happened, and at least they aren't trying to hoover you back and you aren't around them for a while. And then when you start feeling better, they come back in your life for more attention or just to hurt you. But if you discard a narcissist, that's great. I mean, that's what you're supposed to do, get rid of people like that. But don't take them back. You
know how good it feels when you're the one who discarded them? Oh my God, it feels good within your inner soul. And I'm smart enough, see, thanks to the research and all the information that I've learned, and thanks to my son. My son has taught me so much in terms of narcissism because he's a social worker, a therapist, and a counselor. And he has taught me so much. I would never, ever take that clown back, not even as a friend. Not even as a friend.
Will ruin you, because that's what they're trying to do.
Yep.
A lot of narcissists want you to kill themselves. I've talked about that a lot in my videos, and a lot of you guys know what I'm talking about, don't they? A lot of people will say, oh.
Yeah, they want you to kill yourself. You know what? But the hole that you dig for some person, he's the one called me up. I got it on tape. I could press the recording. I don't have nothing to live for anymore. I'm going to kill myself. That's another tactic of theirs. It's called a manipulation. What I should have said is, well, when you make the attempt and the hospital calls me, then I will definitely look into that. But you know what? You've been talking about you're going to kill yourself for the longest, son, and yet you're still here. What they want is for you to kill yourself. Honey, he knows that, really? I wish you could see my... thinking I'm going to kill myself over some guy who got 2 disabilities and cheap, stingy, can't communicate with like an adult, has the mind of a 6-year-old, and I'm supposed to sit up here and take... Let's go back here, Charles, because this is so ridiculous.
They'll convince your parents, your family, that you want to kill yourself. They'll get all these people saying that you want to kill yourself, and you're sitting there going, dude, I don't want to kill myself. And if you're down at the lowest point in your life, and you've got everyone in your family and life saying you're going to kill yourself, it's just fucks with you, and that's what they're trying to do.
Yeah.
They are nasty, sadistic people. Okay? So Remember that. I hope that helps.
Boy, did it help. Did it not help us? I know it helped me. I hope it helped you. That's the reason why I shared this with you. Because as you know, I love you. I'm always trying my best to look out for your best interest. And it's all about trying to heal. We're in this together, you know. Each one teach one, as they say. Sheila, true love, always loving you. You always have a choice. Please choose wisely. Please don't ever, ever make the mistake of going back to a narcissist, because it's not going to get better. It's only going to get worse. Do you believe me? Do you trust me just a little? Just a little? Sheila, true love. Until next time, bye for now.